It was as inevitable as Thanos. Nintendo announced the live-action Legend of Zelda movie, and I'm here to deliver the unpopular opinion. I don't want it. Wait. Please, don't go. Please, just hear me out. Don't get me wrong. I've been daydreaming about what a Zelda movie could look like since I was a kid. But with the state of Hollywood today, and its rush to absorb IP from all corners of pop culture, I fear that something I hold very dear to my heart, something that has shaped me in more ways than I'd care to admit, could be viciously bastardized if the wrong people are allowed to make the wrong decisions along the way. Before I get into it, let me be clear. I am going to watch this movie. I am going to buy the merch. I am going to scour every trailer for Easter eggs, and generally buy into the hype with everyone else. But in the end, my feeling is it can't possibly deliver what I want. And what do I want? I don't know exactly. And that's the problem. What is it that makes me and you love the Legend of Zelda games so much? Is it the story? Absolutely. But more importantly than that, it's our personal interaction with the story. This is true with many beloved video games. We wear the character's skin and guide their actions and decisions. It's the element of video game storytelling that can't be replicated on a movie screen. It's the reason you've never heard Link speak a single word. We are Link. His voice is our voice. And that will be the biggest hurdle for the filmmakers tasked with adapting Hyrule and its rich body of characters to film. The individual they cast as Link will have a monumental burden on their shoulders. They will instantly become the voice of Link. Link doesn't talk. If you thought the fans' reactions to Chris Pratt's take on Mario's voice was spirited,
all right, let's go.
Just wait until they hear Link speak. I'm sure there's already videos and articles all over the internet with dream casting for a Zelda movie. Probably a who's who of who's hot in Hollywood. I don't have an opinion about that yet, but I do have a belief that might eliminate a large portion of those dream candidates. I don't think Link has to be or even should be Caucasian. Link has been designed with many different art styles, and his perceived racial features have varied from iteration to iteration. Ultimately, the casting needs to be colorblind. Zelda is a global phenomenon. Its creators are Japanese, but its appeal is felt by all people. Link is Hyrulean, and ultimately the only physical characteristic he needs to have is those delightfully pointy Hyrulean ears. With a wealth of source material to work with, I'm curious to see how Hyrule ends up looking. The safest choice, I believe, is to borrow heavily from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It's the Hyrule most fans will be familiar with. I also believe it's the Hyrule that leans the most into its Asian roots. While the castles and other structures of games like A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, and Twilight Princess have a more medieval European aesthetic, the architecture, cooking utensils, gardens, and countless other aspects of the two Nintendo Switch Zelda games feel like doppelgangers of their feudal Japanese counterparts. Of course, again, it's not Europe or Japan. Hyrule is its own world and doesn't need to prescribe to any real-world designs. The story could end up being the biggest pain point for fans of the games going into a feature-length movie. The Zelda games are of course built on legends, and each legend differs slightly from the previous one. I don't think the filmmakers will pull a plot directly out of any of the games, but if they did, I again think the Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom story would be the safest bet. It's one of the most rounded out stories, given the larger scope of the games, and also the most familiar to the largest number of fans. I personally will always want to see a Link to the Past movie, but that may just be an indicator of my age and where I was when the stories were most impressionable on me. Give me an uncle cut down in combat, passing his quest on to me. Give me that beautiful flower-adorned misty forest clearing and the stone pedestal housing the Master Sword, straight out of King Arthur. And give me a Ganondorf that appears in some beastly form to scare the crap out of me in our final confrontation. Before I go, I have to remind you that these are just my initial thoughts and opinions after the announcement that the Zelda movie is really going to get made. There are hours and hours of pointless deliberation yet to take place between fans, journalists, influencers, and friends about what this movie ultimately should be and will be. To see you off, I thought I'd come up with a list of things that we are most likely to see and not see in the upcoming film. Number 1. Zelda herself will be part of the action. Much like Princess Peach took charge in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, they won't make the mistake they did with Tears of the Kingdom. Teasing Zelda is something more than a damsel in distress, and dare I say it, a playable character. Girl power will be on full display in this movie. Number 2. Dragons. Will any of the characters transform into them? I don't know, but I have a feeling we'll be seeing a few drifting over the skies of Hyrule. Number 3. Epona. Riding horses admittedly isn't my favorite aspect of the Legend of Zelda games, but I think there's a pretty good chance we see Link's favorite equine friend galloping him across Hyrule Field. Number 4. The hookshot. Of the recurring Zelda items, it's the most unusual and also the most useful. Whether traversing a divide or scaling a seemingly unreachable height, the hookshot also comes in handy when facing down foes from a distance. Stun and slash. Would love to see it in movie form. Number 5. Funky Kong. Nintendo will rectify what the internet has deemed the greatest sin of the Super Mario Bros. Movie and include Donkey Kong's coolest relative in the action. I'm sure this isn't going to be the last video I make before this movie is released, and I just want to remind you that I will be here to either say I told you so or deny everything I've said over the last 4 minutes. But until then, let's all ride this train together and see what kind of a movie we get. Keeping my fingers crossed.